how we love the way they lie. Hey guys, it's Jess from She's the Posh. Welcome back. And today we're doing a fun, maybe sad video where I pick 7 of the top ways we lie to ourselves about luxury. I make videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, so please make sure to hit subscribe below and ring my bell so we can become best friends here on the internet. Okay guys, I thought this would be a fun video / sad video where I just talk about like 7 ways that luxury brands, maybe they don't necessarily lie to us, but maybe we lie to ourselves in believing these things that are not true to begin with. So let's just go through and weep together. The first lies we tell ourselves when we're buying luxury, when we're buying something that is really, really expensive and pricey, is that everything is going to be perfect with it, right? It is a luxury piece. There are going to be absolutely no flaws whatsoever. Everything's going to be perfect. And I've seen a bunch of videos where people are picky, like one thing is off, this and that. To be honest, that happens a lot of the times. The piece is not necessarily going to be absolutely perfect. Yes, there's going to be some pieces that are quality issues, might be flaws. It's never going to be absolutely perfect, even down to the boxes, the wrapping, the experience. We think everything about the whole experience and the product should be perfect, and it's just not going to be. But I always agree, if you don't love something when you get it, like if you unbox something and there's a flaw with it, even if you think it's a tiny flaw, return it, because you're not going to wear it if you're worried about it or if the experience isn't there. Just return it. Your gut is usually right, but just know that not everything is going to be perfect, because it's just not. The next lie we tell ourselves is that it's a luxury product. It's going to be durable. It's going to stand the test of time. Like, the price is the price it is because this bag is going to last me forever. Price does not equal durability. When I see videos about Chanel where there's a flaw with a bag or something breaks on the bag and they go into the store to show them that it's called natural wear, that's gonna happen. There's also certain materials that you know are going to wear faster than others. For example, this bag right here, this is a Chanel tweed bag. Yes, it is leather lined on the inside, but it is tweed. It's going to wear over time faster than a leather bag would be, but the prices on these are pretty expensive, and you would think that this is a superior tweed, right? This is the special tweed technology that will not show anywhere, that will not have any problems, that will never snag, that will never get a stain on it. That's a lie. This is just tweed, guys. Yes, it's a Chanel tweed, but it is going to get wear. Certain materials are going to not last and stand the test of time. So it's definitely something you need to consider when you're purchasing a luxury piece, but I feel like we lie to ourselves all the time that to justify prices of certain things is like, well, it's quality, right? It's gonna last forever, or at least till Tuesday. Another luxury lie that we tell ourselves is that these are investment pieces, right? That we're gonna get our money back if something goes wrong with it. That it is not a waste of money because we can sell these things and they still have a value attached. And yes, that is true for some things, but for the most part, you are going to lose money on these pieces as soon as you take them out. When you buy new, which is not something I like to do all the time, it depreciates similar to a car. So even though some rare Chanel pieces will be worth extra money, they'll be worth more money, but very rarely that is the case. That is the exception and not the rule. That most luxury pieces, if you buy them brand new and in store, when you go to sell them, you will lose money on it. You will not get all your money back and you will not make money on these pieces. I feel like sometimes when we justify buying something, we feel like, well, it is worth that amount. I paid $5,000 for this particular Chanel bag. It is worth at least that if I sell it. And in reality, we wear things, they wear down over time. Maybe it wasn't a popular piece. Just like a car, it is not gonna be worth $5,000 when you go to sell it, or more than that. Most likely you will lose money on that particular piece. So that's something to keep in mind, which is why I love to buy secondhand for certain pieces. And I like to make sure I buy everything on sale. So yes, it is not an investment. It's not making you money. Lux is not making you money. So if you want to invest in stuff, do not invest in Lux to make money. Another way that luxury brands lie to us, or we lie to ourselves, is limited edition. We see something and it says limited edition on it, that we just have to have it, that it's not gonna be around forever. They're never gonna make this again. We need it. We must have the precious limited edition. But in reality, if you don't necessarily like that print, I mean, a lot of the limited edition, to be honest with you, like from Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, like I like the print, but in reality, how am I gonna style that? Is that something I'm gonna wear that often? Especially the pretty summer and spring prints. They're always gorgeous. I love the colors on that. But in reality, how am I gonna style that? How am I gonna wear that in my everyday life? Not necessarily. These loud prints are bold. I'm not someone that wears very muted clothing. So to wear and rock a bold print or a bold bag, you would have to make sure your clothing and stuff is muted. And I don't necessarily like to be flashy when I'm out, so the limited edition prints aren't necessarily for me. And yes, I know sometimes you can resell them and they're worth money eventually, years and years from now, but they're pretty pricey and it's expensive. And just because something is limited edition, if you don't love it or it's just not gonna go with your lifestyle, just because it's limited doesn't mean you need that edition. Another lie that we tell ourselves is we tell ourselves that, especially in the luxury world with beauty products, that buying holiday packs, Advent, beauty calendars is saving money because you're buying this particular thing. Well, I've learned that the hard way this year because I gave into the hype. I'm like, oh, I want to try Advent calendars. I want to try some beauty products. Maybe it's worth it. In reality, these beauty bundles, these things, they're deluxe samples. They are still samples. They're smaller. They're pieces that people give away. They're not high value for the pieces that you're getting. In reality, you're paying for the packaging and the actual brand. There's nothing superior to these products from other people. You're paying for the experience and for the name. And you really do not buy Advent calendars and do not buy these beauty bundles and things like that because you think you're saving money. In reality, you're not saving money. You're most likely losing money because you're paying for extra packaging and the little pomp and circumstance. And only buy products, beauty products, and spend that money on things that you love and you need. Just don't waste your money on samples. It's just not worth it. The last two are the biggest ones that really grind my gears, that really bother me, and that I have given in. I've been definitely guilty of this, or definitely lied to, is certain bags that are overhyped. You should always go with your gut with certain bags. And there's certain bags that I will see and I might not like those. They might not be the most hyped bag. People aren't wearing them because I like to look and see how people wear them, but we'll see bags and styles that are shoved down our throat. But in reality, those influencers, actors and actresses and models and stuff that are wearing those pieces that were getting shoved down our throat were gifted them. They didn't spend their hard-earned coin to get that particular piece. They were paid to wear it, or they were gifted it to wear it. So they are wearing it and hyping it so they continue to be gifted things. And then what do after the hype is worn off? They'll sell those things and make money off of them. Yes, they have to put it on their taxes, but who wouldn't want to praise Louis Vuitton or Chanel if you got a free piece? So a lot of the hype around certain bags when they're introduced, it is fictional. It is not true. These people that are gushing over this particular bag, we don't know if they really love the bag. They bought it with their own money. Most of the time they're gifted. And a lot of times if you read the fine print, they'll say hashtag ad, or they'll say hashtag gifted, but it's put in the hashtag, so you might not see it right away, but you see the picture, you see how it's styled, and you're like, oh, that's great. However, we're not influencers. This is not our life. And we're lied to into thinking that we like something that we don't necessarily like. So I always say go with your gut when you see a particular piece. I like to just look at the actual bags, that when Louis Vuitton comes out or Chanel comes out, I look at the bag separately and I imagine how I would style it myself. And if I'm liking it, then I'll start to look and see how other people are styling. I try not to get influenced because it is really hard though. You'll see a bag, and I've been victim of this. I'll see something styled and I think it's awesome. I think it's cute. I think it's cool. And then I end up getting that bag and I cannot rock it at all. I have no idea how to use it. It's just not for me. So yeah, guys, that's the biggest way we lie to ourselves. We think a bag is amazing because we see it everywhere. In reality, it's everywhere because it was given away. And the last thing that I definitely am going to research, I'm sad about it because it is a lie that it's really sad, and I didn't realize this, is the made in. So how many times have we wanted to have a Louis Vuitton that is made in France, right? That's most sought after. We're like, it's made in France. Or this bag is made in Italy. When you get the Louis Vuitton, you're in the store and it's the made in the USA one, you're disappointed, right? In reality, that made in is not necessarily completely true. And by meaning it, there's different ways to get the made in. The majority of the products don't necessarily have to be made in that country. They just have to have a certain percentage of the process being made there. So that means most of the time it is where they are assembled. So when you see them made in the US, if you look at it, all the parts came to the US and the bag was assembled in the US. The parts are not from the US. So that's like something that Louis Vuitton puts on there, because that's probably a requirement of the made in the USA, is to say that it is assembled and put together in the USA. And France, it is a pretty sought after to have the made in France. Like, it's considered huge and luxurious, but I know that these brands are not necessarily being monitored seriously and very closely for that made in. So some people said it could be as simple as the buttons for the Chanel jacket was put on in France, therefore it can get the made in France. So in reality, not all the material on some of these could be made in China, other countries, all over the place, but it is the finishing touches and it is assembled in that country of origin. It has the made in. So sometimes I think we think the made in France, the made in Italy is better than the made in the USA. And in reality, it is the same, because most likely the different components were made somewhere else, and the made in is where they were assembled, put together, or the finishing pieces were put together. So I think that's the biggest lie that we tell ourselves, is that based on where the made in means it's better quality, means it's different, means it's superior, and in reality, it's not. So sometimes I notice like things will be priced on the secondhand market, the made in France, a lot more than the made in the USA. In reality, they're the same exact thing. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing, right? I'm gonna research this stuff, how to get the made in thing for the different stuff, but I'm very heartbroken about finding this out. So I haven't done the research yet, but I will, I promise. I'll get to the bottom of all this stuff. I'm just not in the right frame of mind. Okay guys, that is everything. Let me know if you were heartbroken with some of these lies that I've mentioned here. Did you know they exist? Am I just the only one that just realized this and is completely heartbroken on how easily I have fallen for these lies? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. And as always, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye guys.